Coming up on this week's episode of Flash Talk, Kent State men's hoops head coach Rob Senderoff previews their rivalry matchup against the school down the road. Kent State athletic director Randale Richmond joins the show to talk about the winter sports action for the Golden Flashes and much more. Wrestling talks about their upcoming home stretch inside the Mac Center. And finally, Golden Flashes women's hoops head coach Todd Starkey talks about his team's recent hot streak. All that and more coming up in a flash. Once again, joined on Flash Talk by Kent State men's basketball head coach Rob Senderoff. Coach, your team's coming off a tough double overtime win on the road at Eastern Michigan. You held them to under 60 points in regulation. What did you like most about your defensive performance in that win?
We've improved over the last few games and need to continue to improve on the defensive end. After we came back from Central Michigan, which was a disappointing game in terms of how we played, in total in that game, we've improved each game on the defensive end. We haven't been perfect by any stretch, but we've been a better defensive team since that point. In the Eastern game, we defended without fouling. We still need to improve in our execution or our details. Our details is what cost us in the Miami of Ohio game. The details almost cost us in the Eastern Michigan game. And moving forward, we certainly need to improve our attention to details. But we were able to win the game at Eastern because we guarded, and not for 40 minutes, but for 50 minutes. Yeah. We made some big plays on both ends of the floor, but in particular, we were able to defend for 50 minutes in that game. And we made some physical toughness plays that you need to make to win on the road.
How much can that help, knowing that your players have played in a ton of late game scenarios come March?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of experience through that. And obviously, we'd like to be in a game or two where it isn't so tight, where we're able to get a lead and extend a lead. And those are some things that we talk to our guys about all the time. We show film and what we need to do in those moments. And hopefully, again, over the last few weeks of the season, we'll learn and be able to execute when we get leads and be able to extend them. But the experience that we have in being in these tight games and finding ways to win more than we haven't, and even in the losses, learning from those losses what it takes, the plays you need to make late in games to win those games, I think will help you when you get up to Cleveland because, regardless, I know not all three games up in Cleveland are going to be games you win going away for anybody. Yeah. So you want to get experience in tight games. You want to get experience in tough environments. You want to get experience, in double overtime. We went down 4 to start double overtime. We were able to battle back. We needed to get, stops at the end of the game to win the game at Eastern Michigan. So all those things I think help you. You just want to try to improve throughout the season, and I do think we have been improving.
5 of your next 6 are outside of the Mac Center on the road, albeit one of them close by against the school down the road. How challenging is it going to be in that stretch, and is there anything that is enjoyable about being on the road with your crew?
All of these games are tough, and when you're on the road, it's certainly you got to stick together. I wasn't quite aware that it was as many as you just mentioned. I try to keep myself focused on what's the week ahead, but I did know we had a stretch on the road here, and it's going to be challenging for everyone. We got to just stay focused on the game ahead of us and the challenge ahead of us, and stick together throughout those games. Obviously, the game at Akron is going to be, great environment. We've played in one of those already. It's always a great rivalry game and a lot of fun for the fans and for the players that are in that game. And, you want to play as well as you can, and you need to because they're an excellent team, and it's going to take a great effort there to have a chance to win that one for sure when we play them.
Mm-hmm. And talking about that matchup against the school down the road a little bit, specifically, what's it going to take to go in and get your guys' biggest road win of the year so far?
Yeah, we'll have to really do a good job taking care of the basketball, rebounding, and our interior play is going to have to be on point. We're going to have to do a great job inside. They have tremendous perimeter players, and they have a great inside player, but we're going to have to do a great job inside and scoring in the paint, and certainly taking care of the basketball, offensive rebounding the ball as well. So, the areas that I think are consistent for us throughout the year are things we're going to have to do at a high level against a high-level team.
Make sure you come out to the Jar to see the Flashes take on the school down the road. Then after that, Kent State will be back home on February 11th on Wednesday against Eastern Michigan. That's Kent State men's hoops head coach Rob Senderoff. Coach, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Golden Flashes fans, it's time to lock in your seats. Single game tickets for Kent State men's and women's basketball MAC games are now available. Come out to one of the best mid-major environments in all of college basketball, with championship coaches leading the way. Head to ksutix.com to watch all of the action. That's ksutix.com to watch your Golden Flashes battle it out in conference play. Hope to see you there, and go Flashes! Joined here on Flash Talk by Kent State Director of Athletics, Randale Richmond. Randale, really appreciate you joining me here on Flash Talk. I want to start with the Flash's Roundup program.
Yes.
Tell me how that came about and how important that can be.
In the changing landscape, you need new creative ideas. And this one came and was bolstered directly from President Todd Starkey here at Kent State University. Saw a promotion at Xavier. Earlier, Suzette McQueen had circulated as well. I said, okay, well, I'm going to take these two signs as something that we probably need to do. So engage Ebony over there at Student Life. And Sesquin Curtis is the one who heads up the area with concessions, along with Scott, who's a great friend of ours. Scott Emoff does an amazing job. And these relationships took that idea and it helped it come to fruition. So it wasn't a week after I got the text from President Dyken, and then get that group together with Suzette and then Sesquin and then his entire team, get in a room. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can make it happen. All right, let's start it right after break. Let's see how it goes. And that's how you see the Roundup program impacting our student athletes right here at Kent State.
How important is it finding some of these creative ways, like you said?
It's not that people don't want to help. It's that some people don't know the entrance points of their help or different ways to help, or it's not as convenient for them to help. So this just made it more convenient for people to say, all right, listen, the way that our dollar structures work, I have an opportunity to round up 25 cents, 50 cents, or even $1. That's easy enough to do. I'm already here at the contest because it's at all of our ticketed contests. Well, this is a way that I can contribute to these young people who I have I want to support. And they bring me joy. And if this supports them and helps them along the way, and I got a chance to do it right now, why not engage and help right now? So it goes a long way. If we add up all the different opportunities we have for ticketing our sports and the people there, and they're feeling in a good mood, they're getting something to eat, it's like, yeah, this is the way that I can contribute to a scholarship, to a travel experience, to something that can help with the graduation to life after sport. So many different ways. It's not going to replace our giving for major gifts or everything within the annual fund, but this is an opportunity to impact young people right there at the concession.
Speaking of a lot of people going to concessions, last Tuesday night inside the MAC Center, one of the best environments in mid-major basketball, sold out. Kent State, a ranked Miami team. The ending didn't go the way we all wanted it to. However, how cool was it to see the support from not only the students, but the Kent State community?
Kudos to all the students showing up, all the faculty and staff, and the community. Now, what an amazing display of getting behind a team who gives every ounce of what they have out there on the playing surface. Kudos to our people in marketing and in ticketing. And this one goes again, you're going to hear her name a lot, Suzette McQueen. Having a vision, being ready for success, not knowing if Miami is going to come in here undefeated. That didn't matter. We were prepared to have an amazing environment. And then the student athletes. With Morgan being a transfer from Miami, he's really connected. But again, because Suzette is a sport administrator for that program, connected to Morgan, hey, I want to do something. I want to buy tickets to get people there. So then they were able to get Del Rico and to get Whaley, Rob involved. And they're like, yep, I'm in too. Yeah. And so not only was that, the support there, you then got Rob Senderoff like, hey, listen, I'm buying the first beverage for the first 500 students who shows up. So it's cold. It's dark outside. Things in, the weather or national news could have a person feeling a certain way. But all these people rallied together to bring 6,000 plus people, fans here to the MAC to root on young people, doing an amazing job out there on the playing surface. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's what we're here for.
A really, really fun environment. Of course, it's the 75th anniversary of the MAC Center. There's been some great memories, a new floor. And speaking of which, Kent State has recently partnered with Artsman. You can take a look at it right here. Pieces of the old floor. So we got a mini court right here. This one's pretty cool as well. So can you tell us a little bit about this new partnership with Artsman?
Yeah. Again, this woman that you guys have maybe heard of, Suzette McQueen, came up with another good idea. Instead of these, items from the previous court, 30 years of memories, like from concerts and commencements and graduations and every athletics contest that we've had in there that just sit in people's minds of a nostalgic moment that can make them feel great. It's like going into a time machine. So she said, instead of just throwing this stuff into a dumpster, maybe we can get with a company or a group who can help bring these things to real life and become keepsakes for people. For when they're having a rough time or they're looking for a nostalgic thought, they can grab a piece of the actual court and have it displayed anywhere. You can make different other trinkets out of it too.
Oh yeah,
ornaments, whatever you're thinking, ornaments, tables. We have these set pieces, and then some of the proceeds go and donate to, again, our scholarships and our programs. So not only are you engaging in a nostalgic moment within Kent State athletics right here in this MAC Center, but you're also helping the programs along the way.
Take a look at these one more time. Make sure. Obviously, a number of things. You can get this little plaque here, mini courts, lots of different things you can buy from Artsman to make sure you remember those memories inside the MAC Center. Last question I have for you. We'll touch on Kent State football a little bit. I know it's in the offseason, but Coach Carney, his interim tag was removed after that big win at home over Bowling Green. They just wrapped up a lot of transfer portal work. How much has him having that interim tag being lifted off and really the results of the program this past year help financial support with Kent State football?
Dane, what off season? When it comes to football, fortunately, doesn't matter. We engage when we have to engage. And, I said some of the busiest times you've seen technically when the season ended, engaging in the transfer portal. It's amazing to see the level of retention that we've been able to accomplish under the leadership of Coach Carney and the level of hope that he's infused into the program, how competitive they are without having this type of runway to build a team. We have an opportunity, and not putting too much pressure on them because we believe in them, for that last year roster to not be the best roster we've ever seen within that program, but only to go up from there. And really feel encouraged about the offseason that they could put together with, one, the retention, and then with two, the opportunity to train with those young men all throughout the spring and the people we added to the program. In terms of the support for the program, we've seen a considerable uptick in the engagement from alumni, which we have not done an amazing job with throughout our time here. We're really focused on being intentional about getting people around. So if you're seeing this, you're hearing this, come back. We want you around the program. And we weren't going to ask you for money just yet. We're asking for different ways to support the program with your time, and later, if you so choose, with your resources, because that's what it takes in this day and age. And I also want to give credit, to President Dyken, for helping to support the program in the sense that, we've traditionally had to do that third Power Four football contest. Well, now we have an opportunity that if we have that third contest, those monies can be used for opportunities for NIL or scholarship or rev share. So right now, not only is the hope within the program at a good spot, you have the engagement from the alumni that's in a much better spot. It has had an uptick in the giving to the program, and we do have some resources to retain our student athletes and get them towards graduation and opportunity to be successful out there on the playing surface. So if you see the uptick in my energy, because we have hope and the foundation to set hope for actual success. Now it's time to execute.
Flashes always support flashes. That's Kent State Director of Athletics, Randale Richmond. Really appreciate the time.
Always, brother. Got it.
Golden Flashes fans, it's time to lock in your seats. Single game tickets for Kent State men's and women's basketball MAC games are now available. Come out to one of the best mid-major environments in all of college basketball, with championship coaches leading the way. Head to ksutix.com to watch all of the action. That's ksutix.com to watch your Golden Flashes battle it out in conference play. Hope to see you there, and go Flashes! Joined here on Flash Talk by Kent State wrestler Blake Schaffer. Blake, appreciate you joining me here on Flash Talk.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, you've been having a lot of success this season, 20-6 overall. You just won your second MAC Wrestler of the Week award, 2 wins this past weekend. What's been working for you most?
It's my last year. I've been at it for a long time. The biggest thing for me is staying healthy, just finding ways to keep staying motivated. It's easy to get motivated when you got a bunch of guys around you who are also motivated, so that's the big thing for me. Keep going forward. There's always going to be, a couple steps backwards along the way, but you just got to keep going forward. And that's what I've been doing this year.
On the mat, where do you feel like has been your biggest area of improvement? Because year to year, it seems like you really have gotten better.
I've always been pretty good on bottom, so we're getting up. It's pretty. Sometimes I get ridden out, but for the most part, I can get out. On my feet, I've made a lot of improvements. Then getting to my offense, doing a lot more reattacks instead of just when a guy shoots and I defend it, just letting him come right back up, using that to get to my offense. So that's what I've been doing this year.
You placed 4th in the MAC championships a season ago at 197. How hungry are you to get back there?
It's my last shot, so I'm giving it everything I got. 2 years ago, I took 3rd. I lost the match to go to nationals. So last year I was 1 or 2 matches away from going to nationals. So it's been just figuring out how to get over that hump, finally make it. So that's my goal this year.
What has it been like adjusting to this new coaching staff, and what's something you've learned from them so far?
It was different. Me and Jimmy, we were pretty close. I like Jimmy a lot. Malik, he was pretty good for me. So with these new coaches, I've known Josh, so I knew what he was going to be like. So everything's, it's good for everybody. He's a very good coach. He knows when to push us, when to let off. So that's been a big help this year. If he sees a guy needs some time off just to heal up, he's always willing to work with you on that. So, that's been really good. I think Schroeder, he's a really good coach as well. He's a younger guy, so it's easier for us to connect with him. And having a young guy on your coaching staff like that who really wants to see you win is just super helpful. And I think with the coming years, it's going to be a lot of success at this program.
As a senior, what's some of the types of tips and tricks that you try to provide?
The biggest thing that I learned being here was just the only way you're going to get better is if you compete. I never redshirted, so right away my freshman season they just threw me in the starting lineup. I had a rough year. I wrestled about I think close to 40 matches, which is a bunch of matches, and I did not have a good record, but that's how I got better. We got a kid this year, 149, Silas. He's a true freshman. He's really solid, and he's going to be really good because he's in the lineup. He's wrestling at all the opens. He's getting that experience. Nothing competes in the practice room. You can get pretty good, but you're never going to get to the best if you're not competing against real competition.
Blake, this last stretch of the regular season, pretty much all at home. How do you feel like that can help you guys?
It can help us a lot, being here with our own fans, being at our own facility. We don't got to travel. Just being right at home. Last week we traveled through the snowstorm. That was pretty rough. So when you're at home, you got your own fans. We've been promoting our duels, trying to get some more fans here. My family, I live 30 minutes away, so they get to come to all the home matches. It helps a lot when you're at home.
You usually have to wait a bit to hit the mat. Take me through your mindset and your preparation on meet day.
We warm up before. That's when I get my last bit of weight off. Right after that, we go to weigh-ins. We start the match. I'm the second to last one up, so I got a while until I wrestle. So what I'm doing, I wait till around 165 to really get myself going. But other than that, I just try to relax, be there for my teammates, the smaller guys on our team, and just being there to support them. But sometimes, I get a little bit too into the match, and I start losing some energy. So I got to keep it calm sometimes. But just watching my teammates, it gets me ready.
Tell me what it would mean to you to get to Cleveland, to get to those national championships and wrestle there.
Yeah, it'd mean everything. It'd be a great way to go out with my wrestling career. Been doing it for almost 20 years now, about 17 years. And that's been the goal since just wrestle at the national tournament since I was so young. So that'd mean everything. It'd be a great way to go out my senior year.
Kent State senior wrestler Blake Schaffer. Blake, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up this week in Kent State Athletics, brought to you by KSU Ticks. Starting on Friday, January 30th, a massive matchup. Kent State men's basketball travels to the school down the road for a 6 p.m. tip-off against the Zips. Men's and women's track and field competes at the Mayo Invitational at Notre Dame, while on Friday, gymnastics has a quad meet in Morgantown, West Virginia against West Virginia, Pittsburgh, and Cornell. On Saturday, wrestling has a quad meet inside the Mack Center against LIU and Clarion. Turning the calendar to February, women's basketball on national TV Sunday at 1 p.m. as they take on Ball State. And finally on Tuesday, men's basketball hits the road once again as they travel to Savage Arena to take on the Toledo Rockets for a 7 p.m. tip-off. As always, you can buy your tickets at ksutix.com, ksutix.com. If you want more info on your favorite Flashes teams, visit kentstatesports.com or go to the Go Flashes app. We'll be back with more right after this.
For every just one more mile to your next ace on the court, when you have a sports-related injury, Cleveland Clinic is here. For our Cavaliers, our Guardians, and athletes at all levels, our sports medicine team helps keep you in the game. With expert diagnosis, personalized sports therapies, and game-changing surgeries. For every injury, for every athlete, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Looking to revamp your home? Let Fair Painters, owned by Kent State football legend Brian Winters, tackle the job. From flawless interior painting to precise drywall repair and stunning cabinet refinishing, we've got you covered. Our local team in Streetsboro ensures top quality craftsmanship, fast service, and a 10% discount for veterans. Make your home look its best with the pros you can trust. Visit fairpainters.com or call 888-602-3247 for your free estimate today. Fair Painters, where fair meets quality. Joined here on FlashTalk by Kent State women's basketball head coach Todd Starkey. Coach, 4 wins in a row for your team, 4 conference wins in a row. It's been a great bounce back. What did you like most in that road win over Buffalo?
I thought we played really well at times in that game. You go back and look at the film, and there was some great moments in that game. Execution pieces, some effort plays, some things that we really started to get into a rhythm with, which was nice to see. We're just trying to focus on continuing to become a better team. Obviously it's nice to win 4 straight games. That's the goal, is to win basketball games this time of year. But really the focus is more on, based on the available players, how can we kind of remold and reshape the current roster into a team that can make a push here as we move into late January and early February.
Riley Rismiller, 25 points in that win on the road at Buffalo. It seemed like the guards were doing a great job of getting in the lane and then finding her for some wide open opportunities. Has that been an effort more for your guards?
There were some plays that were like that, but it was also some great interior passing from Bianca Juzo as well. I mean, a couple dump offs to Riley there. And then Riley made some of her own luck. I mean, a drive from the high post to a finish and did some really nice things. So, I mean, the conversation piece really over the last 4 games is how Riley Rismiller and Emery Klatt, that combined position at the 5 position, what those 2 players have been able to get from that position from a field goal percentage standpoint, a rebounding effort standpoint, has really been very timely in how we've been playing here recently, and we need more of that moving forward. So it was great to see that from Riley as well.
Freshman Anna Campanelli, 19 points. That's a career high for her. Where has been her biggest area of improvement this year?
I think just in her focus and effort. I mean, I think she's a player that came in and had a really good summer, and then, kind of hit some of the freshman stuff early on. Every freshman kind of hits that at different points. And to Anna's credit, she's done a great job over the last month and a half of really kind of refocusing on the most important things. Some intangibles like really being focused in practice. Her effort has been great. She's been aggressive. She's been in working and getting extra shots up. All the things that you can control that we always talk about coach speak wise. She's been really doubling down on that stuff, and we've seen this coming, and it's starting to pay off.
You talked about trying to find consistency in your lineups with players being out. How much has it helped the last few games that you found some consistency?
It's been quite the challenge. Just when we feel like we have a lineup set, then something else happens or whatever. And so for us, it's been nice to have a little bit of consistency in the starting lineup here recently. You start to be able to build a rotation around that a little bit. And so knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't change and maybe we get a player back or that type of thing. So just trying to work through that as we go. Our trainer, SJ, has been working overtime with what's been going on this season, but she's doing a great job and the team's been responding well.
You guys hit the road on Wednesday at Toledo Savage Arena. Obviously a tough team. They're coming off a road win at Ohio. Tell us about the Rockets and what we can expect in that matchup.
It's a team that's very tough to beat at home at Toledo. Great home court advantage, great crowd, great fan base there. And we know it's going to be a tall task. I think Toledo is, much like us in some ways in that we were both picked 1 and 2 in the preseason. Neither one of us has kind of lived up to that preseason hype, which we all know is just that. And we're both teams that I feel like are consistently improving here in the middle part of the season. And so I think it'll be a great test for us here late January to see where we are, where they are, and in a tough environment.
You've now won 4 in a row. You're right back into the thick of the MAC tournament race. How are you able to keep this team together, keep that mindset to rattle off this win streak?
It's really important to stay focused on what's right in front of you. I mean, if you start thinking too much ahead or what if this and what if that, then it takes your focus away from being focused on what you can control. We talked about that earlier, okay? And the things and it's so hard to convince 18 to 23-year-olds, to focus on the process and trust the process and control the controllables, all these things that we use. But at the end of the day, the reason why those things are cliches is because they're true. And so you have to just stay laser focused on the next drill, the next rep, all those different types of things. And then things will happen the way that they're supposed to if you can continue to do that.
Home on Sunday, nationally televised on CBS Sports Network. This is the little giveaway, these little flash Bobby Dobbies when Coach Starkey and the crew take on Ball State.
There you go. Come get your Bobby Dobby.
There we go. Kent State Women's Hoops head coach Todd Starkey. Coach, thanks so much.
Sounds good. Go Flashes.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Flash Talk. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll have more of Kent State sports winter coverage. For our entire GFTV studio, Ethan Lachinsky, Justin Spots, I'm Dane Richardson saying good night and go Flashes. Attention Golden Flash fans, when it's time to make your next big move, choose the team that's officially in your corner. Green Lending, the exclusive mortgage partner of Kent State Athletics. Right now, when you mention Kent State, Green Lending will cover your appraisal, helping you save money from the very start. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, refinancing, or tapping into your home's equity, Green Lending delivers personalized service, expert guidance, and a transparent mortgage process. Make a winning move off the court. Visit greenlending.com, mention Kent State, and let Green Lending help you upgrade your home ownership experience.
Hi, I'm Marcus Leto. I'm the co-creator of the Halo universe and the creator of the Master Chief. Kent State really taught me to think like a designer, not just to build visuals, but to build worlds. I mean, that was all this fire in my belly that I just wanted to kind of create something that was different. The program here really helped give me the tools to enter the workforce, and I still look back to Kent State as a foundation that allows me now to do the kind of stuff that I can do.